Okay, so I'm going to show you how easy it is to install a dash cam. I think every car should have a dash cam. I know a lot of people don't like the idea, oh, I don't want something audio recording me while I'm driving or this or that, but let me tell you something. I've had a couple of times where a dash cam has saved me from getting a ticket, and has saved me from actually saved my wife from being named as the person who caused an accident. It was actually the other people that caused it. So put a dash cam in your car. They're cheap. They're really easy to set up. They're really easy to install. I'm going to start with one in this car, and I'm going to start by cleaning the window and cleaning the dash itself, just because I want to kind of figure out where to put it, and I want to have a nice clean surface to start with. So let me start by cleaning everything up. So it's important, of course, to read all the directions, which I'm not going to do. But I'll tell you, the basics of it are this. You usually get a camera. Well, not usually. You do get a camera. You get, most of them come with rear cameras. So this is a rear view camera with a really long wire on it. Those are really good to have. You have some sort of pedestal that hooks up to the camera, and then you've got some sort of power that connects to the camera. Most of them don't come with SIM cards, SIM cards, with a micro SD card, so you're gonna have to put a micro SD card on it, or in it rather. This one's got a little slot for one right here, and it's really straightforward. So you probably should read the directions, but this is what I usually do. And I like to install them in a way that they're kind of out of the way, and also that the wires are kind of out of the way. So, I mean, it's up to you how you want to do that or not do that. Let's see. This goes, once again, should probably read the directions, but I'm not going to. It's got like a little lock and unlock. They usually have something where they lock and then unlock, kind of suction it in place. You can be really gross and lick it and stick it to there, but it's probably going to taste awful. They usually stick without you having to lick them. To be honest with you, this one came with something cool. Look, it's got a little tool to pull the plastic back, so you can kind of tuck the wires up and in. That's kind of nice. And what the heck is this? I don't know what. Oh, it's got some sort of GPS. It said, I think. GPS model included. I don't know what the hell that's for. Guess I'll find out once I put it together. Maybe this thing has GPS built into it. That'd be pretty cool. But it's got something that'll stick to the window. Maybe we'll take a quick look at the directions. All right, let me take a quick peek at the directions. I'll be right back. Okay, so I kind of perused the setup there, and it does actually have a little GPS thingy in there, and that GPS, I guess, is to be able to map wherever you want to go. Kind of cool. So that's, I'll leave that in line. I mean, I don't think you can take it out of being in line, but all of these things are pretty much the same, pretty much. There are some really nice high-end models, but I usually don't buy those. I buy the inexpensive ones, and I try to install them a little bit nicely. And let me try to not knot this up. There we go. Try to install it somewhat nicely, and they last for a while. The key is to, oh look, there's a little, they actually thought of this. Now, you know, I had issues in the past where they never thought to put double stick tape or Velcro with these things, and you'd end up having to try to figure out where to mount these, and you never could find the right spot. But they actually thought of that this time. That's pretty cool. I have to give them a good review on that one. Basically, you're just, you know, oh, look at that. All right, so this rear camera requires power. That's going to be a little bit troublesome, but not too bad. Usually what you could do is you can find something to tag into in the back in your something in the back in your lights. You might want to hook it up to your tail lights, but you really want to find something that's always powered, or always powered when the car is on, I should say. Use a different finger so it doesn't taste the gross plastic. Basically, I want to get this in a spot where I can just barely see it, because I don't want it to be in my field of vision. You know what? I'm going to tuck it up a little bit higher even. So Oof. Wow. It's a pretty good suction cup. Which is good because a lot of the times these things will die on you, the suction cup itself. Alright, so it's kind of tucked up behind my mirror, which is good because it's one less thing to get in my way, because I usually have a couple of other things up here. And with this up here, I can lay out my other stuff. These wires are basically going to go These wires are basically going to go around through the top, tuck them in through the corner, and then I'm going to bring them out. One's going to go under and behind my glove box. The other one's going to go into the back. The one behind the glove box is the power one. You can take these and hook them into like little adapters. You could split it open and try to make it look all nice and everything. But you can take little, they make these little female adapters, and you can take those and hardwire them in and just kind of tuck it all up and behind everything. If your accessory turns on only when the car is on, that's sometimes not a bad idea. I really don't like hardwiring them, like clipping them here and hardwiring them in. I like to put the little adapter on it. That way if I go to put another one in later or put something else in later, I don't have to worry about, I just pop this out and I don't have to worry about getting, undoing wiring and having a problem with any loose wiring or anything like that. All right, so I'm going to bring this up around here. I will come up into the passenger seat and I will start tucking the wires behind. Actually, you know what, even before I do that, let me check to make sure that this thing turns on. Probably should have done this while you could see it, but I think they all make that same noise too. Please insert SD card. Okay, that's a good sign. I could see 2 pictures, which is good. Basically driving forward and whatever's hooked up to the rear view camera. Let me unplug that. I have to check to see, this trigger might be for the reverse light. It might get power from up front. I don't know. Probably figure out how many pins are coming back. Yeah, there's 5 pins. That might just be the reverse. That might just be to tell the system that you're going in reverse. So I'll look that up in the manual too. One of the other things you can do is you can take these wires, and if you have an area up here, you can zip tie them to the to your mirror, to your rear view mirror, if you have room to and you want to kind of keep them out of the way. I might, even though I like it out of the way, you know what? Change my mind here. I'll make this tiny bit, just a tiny bit lower, so I could just see. Oof. There we go. Tiny, tiny bit, right about there. There we go. Kind of want to make sure that it's level too. And then later I'm going to be messing around with how it sees the road. Want to make sure you get a good view of everything. So this way I can kind of just look around the mirror and make sure that it is still recording. Okay, let me go start tucking those wires up and start bringing things around back and the power cable up to the front. Going? Mm-hmm. Okay, sorry about any background noise. I have to do this kind of with my door open. So I'm going to stick that little thing right there. They showed in the picture being like kind of on the side and out of the way. I think that's high enough that it's out of the way. Now I've strung other things here in this vehicle before, so I know that I don't really need too much help around here. It is, once I get here, be careful around those ABS, around the ABS pieces too, because you would not want to have one of those going off in your face.
Three hours later.
Give it a little push in this little spot here. There we go. And before I finish, I'm just going to make sure that this is still working. Am I still working? Yeah. Oh, whew. That took a little bit. That made me nervous. Alright. So I guess the next step is to figure out where I can go behind the glove box. And then I could take all of this and just kind of push it back there. And I'm going to start tucking this up and around, and then I'll eventually, it gets easier back here. Eventually I'll go into the back seat and start going around the back with this. So, this is really the hardest part, is getting the wires all set up where you need them. This is one thing I do need to do, and I do know how to do. Take the glove box out of this car. I swear I know what I'm doing. Just asking. What is this one? Oh, actually, I don't remember. That's the problem. That one goes down. Stuff back there. Let's see. Ah, there we go. There is a passageway through there. Take this, pop it through here, around behind here. I just barely make it. It's kind of be in a corner. Just hope this doesn't get pinched all the time. Let's see here. That's gross. That's a barf bag in the car. Yeah, it's literally a barf bag. That's pretty nasty. At least it's not a used one. All right. I feel the wire when I do that. You know what? Let me see here. No, I'm gonna crush the wire doing this. Let's see. The other option is going to be to get a couple of zip ties and just zip tie it up and underneath and let it kind of dangle around by the passenger side. There we go. And it's right there. So when I put I'll have a splitter in there. Look at that. Did I forget to lock it? Oh, I didn't lock it down. Okay, well, so I got my splitter in here. This will hook into my splitter and it'll work fine. Next step is going to be running that camera line all the way into the back. Okay, so we got the camera here, and I'm just continuing to follow the little opening behind the weather seal. Oh man, couldn't think of the name of that. And I'm going to just continue to go between these pieces of plastic here, and around back. Oops. Just to hold that there. Huh. Oh, we don't want to put too much back here, but I'll put some. Let's see. I might need to find where my wires are for my reverse lights. I've got to probably read the directions for that first. Let's do this. Let's, I also need to know which way is up and which way is down. Oh, and it's got the little, that's pretty smart. It's got little screws on it, so you can tighten those up and just kind of lock it in one position, right? Little Phillips head screws. Find a spot for it here. Probably like about there. The only problem is I don't know if that's upside down or that's up. I would assume that that's the right way up. It might be like that. So, I think I need to give this 12 volts power, which means I need to find something that's at least getting power that I can tap into. That's going to be something in here. What's good is I might be able to get to that. Yeah. So I can get to that light and wiring. from under the plastic here. I can see a wiring loom right back there. So let me double check the yeah, those can come off with the screwdriver. Let me double check the directions and see what they say, whether or not that needs power from the reverse or just power all the time. Okay, so I did a little investigating, and actually that is only for rear, if you need it to turn on rear when you're going in reverse, when you need the rear camera to take up everything. So, also found the right way to position this is like this. So actually before I position that, let's see. I'm going to get a screwdriver and tighten those up first, just so it's all the way in that full position. And I could stick it in place, and then I'll fish the wires through. Okay, so that's as tight as it's going to get. Got the double stick tape on this. Probably shouldn't have made it quite that tight, because I need to adjust this a little bit. Okay, I decided that this probably should go a little bit more in the center of the rear, and also the double stick tape really isn't doing a good enough job keeping this up. Losing the screws. So little mark there. I'm gonna use they've got little tiny screws that they give you with it. I'm gonna see if I can start one at least. I'd have to drill a little itsy bitsy hole to get these things started. Let's see. But at the very least I hate to drill holes in the plastic, but at least this way I'll know that it's up. It's not gonna go anywhere on me, you know? Pop these little tabs out. Let's see here. What's good is they were smart. In some ways they were really smart with this system. In some ways they weren't, but in some ways they're very smart with this system. They made the tabs in a way that you can actually tilt the camera back and forth afterwards. So the holes are, you know, oblong, so you can kind of swivel this back and forth if you need to. So that's a plus. Plus, you know, it's only going into plastic, so you can always just move it over if you have to. I don't know why I'm not just giving up and getting a little drill. Aha! No? Maybe? Yeah. That's why. That's the way I saved 10 feet of walking. Probably used more energy doing that. Really, this is really there to... Oh, I should have taken the plastic off the camera first. It's really there to record the people behind you. So if you get rear-ended, at least it's on film, right? That's the shortest path right there to there. I don't know if I really want to put it here. I don't know if it's going to get crushed or if it's going to push against everything. Let's see. I might. You know what though? Can go inside of there. So that's an option. Give it a little bit little bit of a service loop there, just so it it'll have somewhere to go if it pulls, if anybody pulls on it. There we go. Ooh. Man. You know what? While I have this open, I'll just feed that all in there. Wouldn't recommend doing this. I would probably take this and, tape it up into a little wad or something. Maybe even label it, but I'm not going to do that. Let's see here. No, gross. Let's see. The right spot. Yeah, that's the right spot. This was kind of messed up before, but on here I could just give it a little tap back into place. There we go. Alright. That should be it installed. I just have to double check to see what it looks like. Make sure this actually closes and doesn't catch on a wire or anything. I can see the camera in there. Let's see what it looks like up here. Looks like it wants to know the time of the day. I could see right behind me, I could see in front of me. So the next thing to do would be to drop an SD card in. Here goes a car. Drop an SD card in, and that's basically it. I know a lot of people don't like the idea of being recorded while they're driving. Well, they usually have options in these to turn the audio off. So that freaks you out a lot. You could always do that. Me personally, I really couldn't care less if somebody's videotaping or audio taping me, because really it's just me that's audio taping me. So that's this camera. This one's done. This car, I have to make sure I unplug it. And then the next thing I need to do in this car is get the actually I want to install this too, but I need to get the SD card in place and check to make sure everything is correct at that point. So let me go show you how to do the same thing in another car. So I've got a different camera here, and I'm going to put it in a Hyundai that I have. It's basically all going to be the same setup. I won't read the directions till I have to, but I'll start setting it up and start feeding the wire to the back. So this one's got directions on it. Do not leave the camera in direct sunlight for a long period of time. That's kind of difficult. Format the micro SD card on the dash cam for using. I think they all kind of do that. Dash cam requires a high speed 32 gig micro SD card to drive. All right, so that one I'll save the directions. So you have to get a 32 gig card. Apparently, I wonder if it'll work on anything bigger or smaller. So with this one, going through what I have here. Let's see here. I don't think this one was as good as the other one. Let's see. So I've seen ones like this. So basically it's a power and the camera are two separate types of connectors. Basically the same camera setup on this. I wonder if they gave me any two-sided tape with this one or not. Doesn't look like it. Oh, give me a second. What if that was a mistake? Oh, I did get. Nice. I got some things for that. That'll be for the camera itself. The camera's basically just a little cube in this one. So, I actually still have my camera wire connected from my previous one here. Well, not connected, it's just kind of flung down and lying around down there. But just have to remember which one goes to where. Let's see. These are easy to tell which plug goes into which one. There's a big plug, and then there's a little plug. The little plug's for power. And this one, you know, they're all different, obviously. And the big, did I say the little? The big plug is for the rear camera. The little plug on this one is for the power. I'm going to start off with plugging it in, make sure it powers up. In this car, you have to actually turn the car into the on position to get power to accessories. Yeah, this is the same type that I actually had in this car. Let's see here. Please insert SD card. Okay, good. That sees the rear camera. Let's see. That's the right way. Alright, so that's the right way. That would be upside down. Okay, so I know how to set that up. Good. Alright, so now I know where everything goes. Just like anything else, you know. Doing it a second time is a lot easier. Oh, that's totally in the way. This car I don't have. Oops, that's not gonna work. I don't have a backup camera, so this will kind of do double duty. And do a backup camera as well. There we go. That's kind of lined up with the what's going on here? I have something flipped around and something else here. There we go. Start from the beginning here. I know it's gross, but it works. I don't know what else to say. Okay. So I will get in the passenger seat and I'll start setting up my my cables next. Okay, this time I'm just gonna feed them the way that they're supposed to go first before I start pushing them up and in. Okay, so this car I forgot was actually already wired up for the reverse light to be to be tagged off of for the previous dash cam that was in here. That dash cam, actually I think it was the same brand as this one. That one died after many years of being used. So since I'm here with electrical tape anyway, I'm going to kind of take my wire and kind of put it all together and tape it together so it's a little bit cleaner back behind the panels, and also so it doesn't tangle around other wires and cause any issues. Okay, but that's going to be a pain to put back there. Actually, no, I got some room back there. It's not too bad. Let's see here. Alright, so I already bolted this in place. I don't know what I did to the package that had the that had the little screws that came with it, so I just took a couple of self-tapping screws. Oops. Make sure this isn't all catching up in there. Let's see. And that's pretty much it. I just have to figure out how to get the plastic to sit the right way here. Let's see. Oh, there. Oops. Oh. There. Okay. And that's it. If you, I'll work with that plastic later. If you needed to put power to the rear camera for some reason, I don't think any of them needed it, but this car's got a power adapter in the back. A lot of cars have those in the back now, so you can always pop the plastic tag off of those. So basically, you're ready to run with just one thing. Don't forget to add a card. I don't really think many of them, the middle end and low end ones don't come with cards. I don't think ever. It might, but none that I've seen have come with cards. So make sure you add a card. Make sure you format it as the instructions state to. The instructions will give you, how to format the card. Then after you do that and you drive around for a little bit, take the card out and check to see what the files look like. Check to make sure that it's actually recording, and every once in a while you'll want to pop that chip out to make sure it's continuously recording. I like to just set mine on loop record, and what it'll do is it'll just kind of record over the oldest file and just kind of loop through all the files. But just make sure that it's doing that. Make sure you don't have any files in there that are stuck. If you stop short sometimes or something, it might think that it's a crash detected or it's a sudden motion stop. So make sure that it's actually doing that and you're not just filling up the card with nonsense. So that's about it. It's really simple. It's just sweaty and kind of, even though I picked a cool day, it gets a little sweaty doing this. So it's just something easy to do, and it's really an easy way to kind of protect yourself, keep yourself out of trouble with your insurance company in case there's any issues ever. And it's also a good way to kind of keep yourself out of trouble. At least I find. I find that if I'm driving with a dash cam in, I'm less likely to be aggressive because I always think to myself, this is on camera. So just one of the ways to look at it. So thanks very much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you go out and get yourself one of the cheap dash cams that are out there on Amazon or any of the other sites to protect yourself from some of the other drivers on the road. Thanks for watching.